Svetlana Kazantseva, the co-founder of Strawberry Health, is on the podcast today talking about the importance of early hormone testing. So as women, we can get baseline data and understand what's going on in our bodies to prepare for healthy menopause journeys. So Svetlana has co-founded two femtech companies and a nonprofit, and she's really passionate about helping women proactively manage their hormone health. Strawberry Health is an AI powered hormone insights platform, providing these incredible at home hormone testing kits to make it really easy to test 9 of the key hormone levels, some of which are not included in a standard blood panel. They also provide concierge support for a year as part of your membership to help guide your next steps in care once you get your test results back. This is a really amazing new service that is changing the game for women, and I am so excited for you to learn about it. So let's get the skinny from Svetlana Kazantseva. Oh, Svetlana, I'm so excited to talk to you about Strawberry Health, but I want to start with your history because I find it so fascinating how you have just constantly tried new things and pivoted and reinvented yourself and been open to things, which I think is so it's so in line with it has to be me, whatever we're wanting to do. So you're originally from Siberia.
That's
And
right.
you moved to India when you were 21. So take me inside that it has to be me moment where you were working in a hotel and kind of in a strange country.
Yeah. Well, there is a story behind that. I moved there to follow my partner, actually. So it was the love of my life, and he got a job offer in India.
Best reason to move for the love of your life.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And I thought at that age, I thought that is so exciting. India. I've never been there, and there is a
Yeah.
chance to live there. Like, I should go. And like we weren't married, and it wasn't that easy for me as a partner to move with him
Yeah.
as unmarried a partner. So I had to find my own opportunities, and I did my research and I found an internship for a hotel position, like to work on the front desk of a hotel, high-end luxury hotel where mostly European, American, Australian people are staying. And I thought, okay, that's not too far from like where my partner's work is. Let's do it. So this hotel, they worked on all the documents, on the visas for me. So I moved there as an independent person to do my internship. I got my salary there, and it was a very fun time of my life.
So is that where you kind of it got ingrained in you, this amazing customer service that you now have? Was that sort of a really great training in that part of what you do now?
Yeah, I definitely think there is this background is really shaping how I view customer service because this wasn't the first hotel I worked in. While I was studying in Siberian University, I did a summer exchange program in the US, and I
Oh.
also worked in a hotel.
Okay, so you had
Mm.
been in the US before, many, many
I've
years ago.
been for 3 months. It was a very
Okay.
short term internship.
And where was
Uh,
that?
it was Virginia.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a oceanfront hotel.
Yeah.
Like, families were coming there to spend their vacation, like
Yeah.
children,
And that was
dogs.
a good
I
place to
loved it.
practice your English, I imagine, too,
Yes,
where
it
you were
was
just
amazing place to practice my English and
yeah.
having all these
Yeah.
little conversations every day.
Yeah. Okay, so take me to the next It Has to Be Me, where you moved to the UK. And then again, you have to pivot in another place. Let's start over.
Oh yeah. Starting over, I feel like it's a part of my
It's like one of your
life.
superpowers.
I yes, I did it quite a few times. The UK was difficult one. Even after India, I was still not confident enough in my like professional English.
Yeah.
I was able to understand people, I was able to talk to people, but I wasn't confident enough that, okay, I can enter the workplace and I can be like as a peer to everyone who is like a native or who has been living there for a while, working there for a while. So I've got maybe a year of adaptation where I was looking at all the opportunities there. I even looked at working at a local coffee shop at some point just to get me familiar and confident enough with being in the new environment.
And so what
But
shifted for you then?
yeah,
Like where you were not feeling confident and then obviously then you decided to sort of go all in. Going, it has to be me. Figure this
yeah,
out.
yeah. Well, it was a difficult year for me. I was initially like very internally focused. I was trying to like invest in my home interior. Like, what can I do there to make it more like comfortable for me? Because new country, like everything is new. Like we were dealing with their like new bank accounts, new medical system. Everything is new. So you try to find comfort in little things that you are
Yes.
used to be comfortable with, like home interior. I was cooking a lot. And at some point I decided, okay, I need to get out there. Like I'm going to get crazy if I'm just in this space with myself. And I started looking for communities, like local communities. I found a community of expat people where everyone was a non native English speaker. So I joined this one. We were going to a pub once in a while in the middle of the day while everyone is working.
Oh,
But we
listen, day drinking's always right with me.
like an empty pub and a group of like non-native English speakers practicing. Yeah, it was amazing. I have great memory of that.
Oh,
And it really helped me with my confidence that
yeah.
like I'm here, I belong here.
Yeah. So in the UK, you worked for a startup, right?
Yes.
So was that the first time that you'd worked, with something from the ground up? Like, I imagine that was amazing training for you then starting all of these companies that you've started.
Yes, totally, totally. That was really helpful to get used to a startup environment.
Yeah. What did
And
you learn the most from working there that's helped you now?
yeah, I've seen how the company, it was a dating app company. Yeah, and I was there at the moment when they acquired another company.
Okay.
I was seeing all the changes happening, like how fast they moved. Like I worked on one thing one day, then I came in, okay, we are doing a totally different thing today because we acquired this company. Like our tone of voice is changing, like our value propositions are changing. It was really helpful for me to see that entire company. It was a pretty big startup at that point, over 100 people were working at it.
Yeah.
Like how fast everyone had to like align and work on a new strategy, executing new strategy, like new mission. That
Yeah.
was really
Ooh,
helpful.
okay. So your superpowers of adaptability and being able
Yes.
to pivot and acclimatize
Yes.
were honed professionally in that environment.
Totally. Totally.
Yeah. Yeah. I love it. Okay, so let's go into the next it has to be me when you then move to the US.
Yeah. Okay. That was a different one. So I spent 8 years in London working for three different startups.
Wow.
Uh, and once I moved to the US, it was January 2020. So
Oh.
yes, I
Like
had
so
a
right as COVID's
two
about to take over. Yeah.
I had a 2-year-old at that point,
Oh.
and I was pregnant with my second child. My daughter was supposed to arrive in April. So, as we all know what happened in March 2020, so 1 month into the pandemic, I gave birth for the second time. I was left with nearly zero projects at my previous work. Because once I relocated, I had to let some of the projects go. They weren't like transferable to the other country. And the ones I had, they were like, slowly dying because of the pandemic. And the world was going upside down. I think my mind went upside down too, and I
Yeah.
decided that I need to pursue something I'm really passionate about.
And so what did you dive into?
I opened my first company in the US.
Okay, that's a big deal. Like to start your first company in the middle of a pandemic when there's
Yes.
so much uncertainty. And I love this story so much because my experience of the pandemic was people went one of two ways. You either let it destroy you and let it unravel you and doom and gloom and this is terrible and I don't know what to do and just getting lost. Or people just decided, I'm going to be as productive as I possibly can and I'm going to rise like the phoenix. And that's what you did. So, what was it inside of you that when it has to be me to do this, I'm doing this? Well, you've got a newborn baby on top of it and a
Y-
toddler, right? I
Yes.
mean, and in a new country. I mean, it's your story. You have such balls, like such courage. It's just incredible.
Yeah. Well, it took me a year, actually. A year while
But
I was
still,
trying to
that's, I
adapt.
mean, yeah, there's still people going, I've got a dream to start something and they're not doing it.
Yeah. Well, I went through all the things that people around me were going through. I was baking bread. I got a
I know
I
everyone was
was
feeding
like
their
mastering
starter.
sourdough starters. I bought a sewing machine to start like designing things for the first time in my life.
Oh, I did not do a sewing machine during COVID. But anyway, I cooked a lot.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, but that was actually the starting point for me for my first business once I got a sewing machine.
Really?
Yes.
Tell me more about that.
Okay. So a bit of TMI. I've got my period back after giving birth for the second time.
Yeah.
And at the same time, I got a sewing machine. And it was a year without periods. It was more because there was pregnancy,
Yeah.
breastfeeding, so more
Yeah.
than a year without periods. And I was just terrified with the menstrual products that were like in my cupboard that I used to use before my pregnancy. Uh, they were like smelly, they were so wasteful, and so much plastic in them. I was thinking there must be other way. So I was on a journey of finding like a perfect menstrual product for myself. At the same time, I got a sewing machine and I was trying different like reusable menstrual pads, reusable menstrual cups, and I've had this machine in front of me and I realized, okay, I've tried several different brands already. I know what's working in them, what's not working in them. So why not just like create the perfect reusable menstrual pad for myself?
Wow.
Yeah,
And so
and
that
that's
was
what I did.
PlumThyme.
Hmm.
So you
That's what
founded
I did.
PlumThyme
Yes,
to
yes,
to offer these reusable period pads and just
yes.
decide you're going to be the solution.
Right. Well, I started small. I started from my friends. So I created like samples for my friends. I remember I researched materials in a Facebook group,
Yeah.
like sewing group in Facebook. Then I went to Etsy to buy like patterns, sewing patterns. And then I sent samples to my friends for them to try out and give feedback. I've got mostly positive feedback. I ex- just like I expected, some people were just not going to use anything reusable for their menstrual products, and that's okay. It's a niche product. I understand
Right.
that. But I've got a lot of positive feedback from people who never tried a reusable menstrual pad, and then they were like, "How? How come I didn't know this exists?" And this is
Yeah.
comfortable, and this like you can wash it in a washing machine. Like, you changed my life.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Yeah. My
okay,
sister and my niece use reusable ones.
yes, and I use
I
them
mean, they're
too.
really into the environment and they love it. But you're right. It's for some people and other people are just not going to get on board.
Right,
Right.
right, exactly.
Yeah. No, it's so incredible. So what did you learn inside that it has to be me chapter with PlumThyme?
Yeah.
that's informed Strawberry Health now?
Yes. I was trying to listen closely to our customers at PlumThyme. And at some point, I've heard a lot of questions about like menstrual health, hormonal health, and me and my team of interns, we started to do social media content about women's health, which got so much response. We were even getting emails on our marketing campaigns as replies to our marketing campaigns, asking to cover like particular like symptoms of endometriosis, for example, or like PCOS. And I was looking at it and realizing, okay, I'm selling menstrual products, but the questions that people have are mostly about like, how do I get better care? How do I get answers to my health questions? And that's when it clicked that I need to focus on this.
Yeah. So again, this superpower of adaptability and pivoting and being able to change and listen to the data and go, okay, what does this have to be? What do I have to do? Is such a huge part of your story. So was letting go of PlumThyme and morphing into Strawberry Health difficult for you, or did you just look at the data and go, this is what it has to be?
Yeah. Well, I think it has to align from both sides to let go of one project and focus on the next one. And that was the moment. That was the right moment. With PlumThyme, at that point, we were at 83 retail stores in the US, in Europe, and Canada. Those stores were mostly independent, like eco-friendly stores or like independent natural grocery stores with pretty small orders. And as you can imagine, reusable menstrual products, you're supposed to reuse them. You're not
Yes.
coming back to buy them every month.
Yes.
And that
Yes.
was the problem for our business.
Yes.
Yes. So once we decided to go into big retail, that was the problem. Like big retail wants their customers to come back and to
Yes.
repurchase the products. Yeah. So that was the perfect moment to let it go and focus on the thing that I was thinking that I'm supposed to solve.
Yeah. So how did you partner up with the other Svetlana? It's like Svetlana and Svetlana. It's like the
Svetlana and
dynamic
Svetlana.
duo. You had worked together at PlumThyme, right?
Yes, yes. We get so many jokes about the similar name. Like,
Yeah.
how did you decide to work together because of the similar name? Maybe we were drawn to each other because of the similar name, but that wasn't the main reason. We've met at a nonprofit. So in 2022, I co-founded a nonprofit here in the Bay Area, which was helping women immigrants. So women, mostly women, because we were focusing on partners of work visa holders. And those are mostly women moving to the US with their partners. And while working at that nonprofit, Svetlana joined us to volunteer, helping us build relationships with local companies, corporations. And we've got to work together initially in a bigger group. Then I noticed that all of the problems are getting solved when me and the other Svetlana are collaborating. So I brought her in PlumThyme
Yeah.
to help with the business partnerships there. And she is so passionate about women's health. She has her own reasons, her own stories, and it's really magical to work with someone who shares your passion for the problem you are solving. I think that this makes us such an efficient team.
Yeah, yeah. So let's dive into Strawberry Health
Mhm.
because what I love so much about it is that it's really preparing women in their 20s and 30s to have a really great perimenopause and menopause journey. It's also applicable to women in their 40s and 50s, of
Yeah.
course. But I'm particularly interested in empowering younger women to really understand more about how their hormones are affecting things. You know, there's some wonderful stories in your community of younger women getting diagnoses that they would never have gotten had they
Exactly.
not gotten the home test kit with Strawberry Health and really been able to analyze and find solutions, which is so incredible because I think so many women in their 40s and 50s are on the back foot. They've already got existing issues that have been left unattended to. So that's what I really, really love about what you're doing. So talk us through exactly what Strawberry Health is.
Yeah. Uh, just as you said, we are preparing women in 20s, 30s, and 40s to
Yes.
understand hormones. And how we came up with this particular like product offering, we were doing customer interviews. We were speaking to the age groups of like 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s as well. And women who went through perimenopause, who experienced symptoms and went through their own struggles to find solutions for their symptoms, they were saying, I wish I could understand my hormones earlier before I got to deal with all of these disrupting symptoms. And we've heard this quite a number of times. And as women in our 30s and 40s, like Svetlana and I, we were thinking, okay, like if this is such a common thing among women in 50s, that they wish to be able to learn it much earlier, why not help women in their 20s, 30s, and 40s to learn about their hormonal health so they are prepared? They know what's going to happen. They have the data about their hormonal baselines before they even start experiencing symptoms.
Yeah, it's so important. So I go to your website and how does it work? Talk us through exactly how it works for somebody
Yes, you go
who
to
wants
our
to become a member.
website. Yeah, you go to our website. You click join Strawberry Health. You answer a short questionnaire. You go through the checkout process. Our first hormone test kit includes annual membership. So you are making one payment, but you are getting your test kit, and you are also getting all the benefits that come with the membership, like additional concierge support, like we help you navigate follow-up care if needed. Then you are redirected to a health questionnaire. So that's a pretty extensive questionnaire asking about your current situation, what are your goals related to hormonal health, if you have any existing conditions that you are aware about, if you have any thyroid issues, if you are on hormonal birth control, or if you're on hormone replacement therapy, because this is going to affect the results that you're going to see with your Strawberry Health test. Once you went through all of this, you receive your first test kit.
Okay, and let's talk about what's in the test kit and
Yes,
then, how you administer the test and then how you get the results.
yes. So in the test kit, you receive everything to self collect your blood sample. And we use a painless device that is going to collect your sample. Like you stick it to your upper arm, you press the button, it makes a cut in your skin, and the blood collects to a test tube, um, which works great for people who are afraid of the look of the blood, who may faint during the blood
Yes.
draw. So we were able to successfully serve quite a few people who had issues previously with blood draws.
Yeah, it's very easy with that device that you send out. Yeah.
Yes, yes, yes. I love this device. Personally, I used it 3 times, 4 times. I just used it for the fourth time.
Yeah.
Uh, and you ship your sample overnight to FedEx. I mean, you drop it off to FedEx and you ship it to the lab. So we work with the lab, which is certified to cover 50 states in the US. So the lab processes the sample, and then you get the results in your Strawberry Health portal. You get your numbers and also an explanation what these numbers mean, how it relates to your ovarian reserve, if there are any possible signals of like polycystic ovary syndrome. If there are any issues, we would recommend next steps to address any underlying causes.
I want to talk about some of the tests that are included in the comprehensive panel,
Yeah,
the blood test that you're doing, because it's really amazing because some of these things are not included in a standard panel that somebody would do with their general practitioner. So
yeah,
it's just a more higher level hormone test that really needs to be done. And
right,
many women are never getting these tests done. So that's
right.
another really important piece of this. So can you just talk through some of the things that are included in the panel?
Yes, yes. Our comprehensive panel includes 9 biomarkers. We test hormones such as estrogen, progesterone, AMH, total and free testosterone. Um, what else is there? LH, luteinizing
Hmm.
hormone. We test albumin to calculate free testosterone. And many women who want to understand their hormones were never able to get like their testosterone tested through their healthcare provider or get their AMH tested to understand their ovarian reserve better. So Strawberry Health is the first place for them to be able to see these hormone levels.
Yeah, it's so important because again, and the other thing too is that there are a lot of doctors that are not qualified or knowledgeable to analyze those tests either, or to help you determine what the next steps might be. So I want to talk about the doctors that you're working with that are on your advisory board that are
Yes.
helping you determine what this concierge service looks like as part of the annual membership. So as part of
Yeah.
this annual membership, you get the test, you send your test off via FedEx, you get the results, and then the concierge service at Strawberry Health will help you um, interpret this data. So,
Yeah.
talk me through how you and Svetlana determined who was going to be on your advisory board.
Yes. First of all, it was very important for us to work with doctors who understand the importance of hormones because it's not every doctor and even not every OBGYN doctor in the US. And additionally, it's important for us to work with doctors who are regular physicians, who are seeing their female patients and are hearing their concerns about hormones, but have a very limited toolbox to address those. Because one of our goals is to help our members to better facilitate the conversation with their healthcare providers.
Yeah. So, talk me through what that looks like on a practical level, how you would help me. So, I send in my sample, I get the
Yeah,
results back.
yeah,
Oh, all right. There's some levels that are kind of not looking quite right. What does that mean
yeah.
for me? So, then does it get emailed to me? How do I interact with the concierge service at that point?
Yes, you will get an email that your results are ready. To view your results, you will need to log into the Strawberry Health portal for the like data protection and security reasons. And there you would see your levels, you would see the interpretation and the recommended next steps. If one of the next steps is to consult a healthcare provider, that's where the concierge can help to navigate the existing network of providers out there to find the right one who can address your particular situation.
So is that all done via email? Is there a portal online where there's Q&As and blog posts and things like that? Like how does it work in terms of understanding what you have access to as part of your yearly membership?
Yes, so we have an instant chat underneath your results. It's an AI powered chat, but it's personalized to your hormone levels, to your age. So, some basic questions that you have straight away, or if you want to better understand how like certain hormone level can affect your, I don't know, chances of getting pregnant naturally, for example. This instant chat can help. But if you need a specific recommendation for a provider, it's done through email. So you would ask a question and we would look at your case and we would see who out there can help you address your issues, and we would recommend it to you.
Yeah. So talk me through Dr. Kendall Cannon
Yeah,
and Sarah Watercarb and
yeah,
how they have informed the development of Strawberry Health and
yeah.
the kinds of information that's available as part of the membership and the concierge service.
Right, right. So these two doctors, they are coming from like two different sides. Dr. Sarah Buttercombe, she is running a smaller practice with physicians, and Dr. Kendall Cannon is a part of a bigger healthcare system, Stanford Medicine. And this is really helpful for us to understand how different sizes of practices are addressing the concerns of their patients differently. Also, for us as a company, it's helpful to understand the billing behind these two situations, um, because hormonal tests are sometimes often not covered by insurance.
Yeah, yeah. So how do we provide support in that sense, for women that are from different socioeconomic situations, you're tailoring support and what the next steps might be, obviously going to be different for each client, each member.
Yes, yes. So our test kits are currently FSA and HSA eligible, and they are not insurance covered for the reason of transparency,
Yeah.
price transparency. It's $250 for a test kit. And with membership, every consequent test is going to be cheaper. And what was the question?
No, just about how you support women from different socioeconomic situations. You were
I
just
see.
talking about the
I see.
insurance not
Yeah.
covering certain things,
Right,
So
right,
what
right.
are you finding with that with members?
Right. So right now we mostly see people who are able to pay out of pocket for a hormonal panel.
Yeah.
Um, yes, we understand that the need is much broader, and women from different backgrounds, different socioeconomic situations can benefit from this service. And this is the next step for us to make it available to more people.
Yeah.
Right now, people are paying out of pocket and reimbursing it through FSA,
Yeah.
HSA accounts.
Yeah. I mean, look, the membership is extremely affordable over a year-long period, right? I mean, 200 and something dollars, right? So, and you have access to this concierge for a year. So, for
Yes.
example, it's great value in the sense of you get the test kit and your membership extends and the value extends well beyond the test kit. So I get my tests done and then maybe 6 months later, I'm kind of really absorbing what's happened and I'm discovering that yeah, there's some flow on effects and symptoms that are associated with these things. And I can keep asking questions
Yes, that's
and
correct.
keep getting support.
That's correct.
Yeah, it's amazing. So, what's your vision for Strawberry Health in terms of it expanding? Obviously, because this is such a new company,
Yeah.
about how you will be expanding the value of the membership and what's available on your website in the portal.
Right, right. So some of the immediate projects that we are going to add to the membership is a community. We already have an informal community for our members. We did a couple of in-person events for our beta members,
And
where
this is in
people
San
were
Francisco.
in San Francisco and in Mountain View. We did two,
Mm.
where people were able to meet each other and talk to each other about their experiences, what they were able to find out with Strawberry Health tests, how they addressed their issues. So we've seen how people are really like turning into little groups where some of them are discussing hormonal acne, some of them are discussing like fertility and trying to conceive. The other group is discussing perimenopause symptoms and what they are doing to address them. So we are right now working on like bringing more value to our members with the community, because we see the need. Women want to have the community to talk about
Yes.
women's health.
Yeah, it's so important. And what are some of the other things that you've got on the boil?
Yeah, so the next step for us as a company is uh, to get some B2B partnerships,
Mm.
actually, because testing is done in so many places. Like fertility clinics are these days are testing AMH as as the first step of serving any new customer. There are doctors who are focused on hormones who are doing hormonal tests before they were able to like intake their patient and address their concerns. So we are working in that direction.
Yeah, and so in terms of like your vision for this, like, let's just go pie in the sky for a second
Yeah,
because you constantly start things and reinvent yourself. Like,
yeah,
what's your big dream for Strawberry Health?
yeah. My big dream is for women in their 40s, 50s to be educated about hormones. And I hope that Strawberry Health is going to play a big role in that, um, to live better lives, to be there for their families, to be amazing in their workplaces because they were able to get the right help in the right time.
Yeah, there are so many great stories from your community. I just want to ask you about a few of these because I want to ask about some of the others. So Amanda,
Yeah,
she's 34 and
yeah,
she discovered a reduced ovarian reserve and was able to be proactive about her
yeah,
planning decisions
yeah,
about having a family or whatever.
yeah,
And then you've got Melinda, who's then in her early 40s, who found out that her testosterone levels were low
yeah,
and that explained her chronic fatigue, her low libido. And
yeah,
I know she said to you, I can't believe I waited this long to get it checked because she could
yeah,
have fixed it a lot sooner, right? And
yes,
had a better
yes,
quality of life, as you say. And then Dorothy's in her 20s talking about how she got the PCOS diagnosis and it
yeah,
would not have happened had she not taken
yeah,
the test. So, what are some of the, talk me through some of the other stories, that you're
yeah,
experiencing right now of women who are literally figuring some stuff out because of this one test.
yes. Well, the three stories that you mentioned are the three most profound examples of what people were able to find out with Strawberry Health Test. We started up recently, so we do not have a huge customer base, but from these people who did Strawberry Health tests, we've seen these examples where a woman was able to find out about reduced ovarian reserve, even though she did not have any symptoms. She did not realize that she may have this issue in her early 30s. And having this information is really empowering because right now you're at the point where you can actually make some actions to address this issue rather than suffering in 10 years time with trying to get pregnant and not having any options.
Yeah, I mean, I think the important part of what you just shared is that she didn't have any symptoms.
Right,
And there are
right.
so many instances of this where you can be asymptomatic and there are all these underlying issues which left unattended to progress into
Yeah,
more serious things. And you
right.
don't want to let it get that far, which is why I'm such a big proponent of blood work every year. Blood work every year. But as we were saying earlier, that some of these hormone tests are not part of a standard blood panel,
Yeah,
So obviously
exactly.
FSH is and LH is, but some of these other things are not. So such important stuff. So what's your favorite part about working on this?
Seeing the real examples of how health has shaped people's lives. That's definitely what is motivating me to keep going, to have even bigger impact on the lives of other women out there. Um, that's definitely my favorite part of the work that I do.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, so I find this thing about being able to access stuff online, which is obviously why you were at Google Mountain View, right? Like,
Yeah,
I love this trend of embracing telehealth, of embracing being able to test and send things off, and you can be anywhere in the country. So, in terms of it being in 50 states, like, um, how would we, in terms of you recommending what the next steps might be. So let's say I figure out that, I've got low levels of something and you recommend that I go and get tested with this doctor or that
yeah,
doctor.
yeah,
How can you help somebody connect with the right physician or the right
yeah.
resource, for example? That's part of the concierge service, right?
Yes, it is part of the concierge service. Well, we do have vetted and trusted providers that we can recommend. In terms of telemedicine providers, there are a couple of options that our community has already used and already was able to get help from, like to name a few, MIDI Health or Alara
Mm,
Health. In terms of in person support, because some members really prefer to see their doctor in person,
yeah.
we mostly have our network in San Francisco Bay Area. And right now we are working on building this network of vetted providers in the other places across the country. And I would say that telemedicine is solving a lot of problems right
Yeah, it
now.
really, really is. So, what would you say to someone that's resistant to getting a kit and mailing it off and going,
Yeah.
I've heard that these online things are just not trustworthy, and no, 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 it's not for me. Just like we had this barrier with people not wanting reusable period pads, right?
Yes.
What would you say to someone who's resistant to that?
We would invite them in our community to hang out for a while, to hear the stories, to see how other people's lives are being shaped by being proactive about their hormonal health, and let them decide if they want to resist it or if they want to be a part of it.
I mean, it's just a test. That's the other thing. Like,
Yeah.
it's not anything extreme or dangerous or
Right.
crazy,
Right.
and you're not selling anything beyond that.
Mm-hmm.
That's the other
Mm-hmm.
thing that I love about this, right? You're actually
Yeah.
just selling a test to get greater awareness and then the potential advice for next steps that's going to
Right.
make your life better. You're not actually selling the supplements that people might take or the service. That's what I love the most about this, is that it's just this. Whereas
Right.
sometimes
Right.
you enter communities and they're wanting to on sell you all of these things, and that is
Yes.
absolutely not what you're doing, which is
Yes.
what I love about you. It's just a very honest kind of, as you say, your main goal is just to help women empower themselves with knowledge, right?
Right.
It constantly astonishes me how many women just don't know what's going on inside their bodies.
Exactly.
Yeah, and we just absolutely have to know. So, getting the test for yourself, I'm just curious for you and Svetlana, like, did you learn anything you didn't know before about your own health taking this test?
Yes. We just posted Svetlana's testimonial on our Instagram account this week.
Oh, well,
So
my question's timely then, isn't it?
she was able to find out that her testosterone levels are really low. And she was suffering with fatigue and low energy for a long time. And she was really looking for answers. Like she was going to her doctor, and doctor was running iron levels, thyroid panel. Never she was tested for testosterone levels.
Mm,
And when they came out really low, that was the answer for her. Okay, this is where my fatigue, constant fatigue is coming from. And she was able to address it. She's currently getting it addressed. For me, it's very important to know my baselines. I'm a data driven person. I wear like tracking ring to track my sleep, my heart rate during my workouts, because I really believe in like knowing my data and making my decisions based on that. So for me, it's empowering to test my hormones, to see my levels, to know that I'm doing well. initially, eventually, when I move into menopause transition, I believe this is going to be a great support for me having this personal data set.
Yeah. Oh gosh, it's yeah, you just got to know your levels at the end of the day, and you got to have them done every year, because they just
Yeah,
change, So and
exactly.
so many women are tired. They have
Yeah,
extreme fatigue, and particularly with hormonal changes and stress and young children and then older children and then
yeah,
perimenopause and menopause. I mean, it's just there's just something, all the time.
right,
So
right.
this fatigue can be corrected, with
Totally,
hormone replacement or with
totally.
changes in nutrition or with lifestyle changes, and you've just got to know what's going on. So anyway, I just love what you're doing, and I'm just excited to see Strawberry Health grow, and I'm so excited I got to talk to you at the very beginning. I wanted to talk to you while this was still a startup because
Yeah.
you're the queen of the startups. It's just so unbelievable. So in that along that line, I always close every episode with the same question,
Yeah.
which is for somebody who has a dream in their heart and doesn't feel like they have what it takes to make it happen, what would you say to them?
Who else would make it happen? If you have a dream and you have a passion and you see a problem out there, like you are the person to solve it. Like you can wait forever for anyone else to notice the same problem and to get the same passion, but you are the person. You are out there. Like put your work where your heart is.
Oh, I love it because it's just so simple. And I love how you just constantly put yourself out there. It's so incredibly brave, and I find it so inspiring. Thank you for this lovely conversation.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me. I loved our conversation today.
Oh, this is an exciting development in the space. It was interesting what she was saying about the benefits of big pharma educating people about the hormone GLP-1. I don't think most people were aware of the importance of it and what it did in the body to speak to leptin and ghrelin, our hunger and satiety hormones, and insulin to regulate our blood sugar and food cravings and so forth. Gosh, it's exciting to learn about the results that they're getting in clinical trials and with consumers and practitioners they're working with in terms of the reduction in appetite and food cravings, caloric intake, and helping people make better food choices and have a healthy, more balanced relationship with food. I really love the way she frames CaloCurb as a tool in your toolkit to help you in the modern world. That yeah, our physiology has evolved over thousands of years, and what was an asset ages ago is now a liability, and that it's not about being skinny, it's about being healthy. Gosh, we got some really clear information about the difference between natural GLP-1 production in the body, the synthetic injectables, and CaloCurb being a natural alternative. That the natural GLP-1 that we produce in our gut and in other parts of our body lasts about 2 minutes in the body. And with a GLP-1 injectable, the synthetic, they've copied natural GLP-1 and changed one molecule. So it lasts 7 days in the body before it's broken down. And it gets injected, goes into your bloodstream, and then you have high levels of GLP-1 sitting in your body 24 hours a day, even when you're sleeping and you don't need it. So that's how people, when they're injecting at these high dosages, are getting this toxicity, and it's causing a lot of these adverse symptoms. I'm watching the space closely, and it's really fascinating to watch practitioners now realize that these dosages are too high and that they're getting really great results by microdosing and doing some other things in conjunction with these injectables to help people sustainably lose weight and then titrate off these injectables. You know that CaloCurb is such a great tool for that, right? Because it's completely natural. It was interesting to hear about the difference, right? That they're activating those bitter taste buds in your gastrointestinal tract. Fascinating stuff, like, and it just ding 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 like a pinball machine to stimulate your natural GLP-1 production. That 99% of CaloCurb is digested in the lower colon and less than 1% in the bloodstream. So it doesn't interfere with your liver and your kidneys, other medications. Oh, gosh, it was so exciting to learn about the different ways that you can use it. Like, unlike the injectables where you have to take it every week, and most people have to stay on it or they get the rebound effect, that you can just take it when you want it for what you need. So some people are taking a half dose, 1 capsule before breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Some people are doing a whole dose, 2 capsules, to control portions and prevent cravings. So that would be really helpful, after dinner, right? Some people are taking it in the morning to prevent those mid-morning cravings. Women are taking it when they've got the cravings during their menstrual cycle. Other people are taking it before exercising to prevent overeating and feeling ravenously hungry post-workout. Gosh, it was fascinating to learn that women are more responsive to GLP-1 and just recognizing our physiology because of our menstrual cycle. Oh, gosh. I just love the flexibility, that you can just take it when you want. And, when she talked about taking it when you're traveling, if you to stop yourself from binging on things too much and stuff like that, that it really is incredibly versatile, right? And you can sort of take what you like and leave the rest. So just to recap, the 3 ways you can use it. So people are using it as a natural alternative to Ozempic and other injectables. If you don't want to take it, the second way is that they're microdosing, like we talked about, to get that effect from the synthetic hormone, and then also stimulating your natural GLP-1 hormone at the same time. And then the third way is they're using CaloCurve to help people titrate off the injectables so that they don't get that rebound weight gain that over 2/3 of people are experiencing right now. Wow. I mean, gosh, again, when she was talking about how the synthetic hormone suppresses your natural production, right? And that gut-brain axis pretty much goes down to 0. So that stop button isn't there anymore. That was a really good way of explaining it, right? And how the CaloCurve sort of kickstarts that process again, that natural production. And so you have that maintenance backup product that gives you the psychological kickstart and the physiological kickstart. That was really interesting when she was saying that, because I'd never really thought about that, the shame and the guilt and the stigma of, oh, well, I lost it and then I put it back on again. And oh gosh, that really, really touched my heart thinking about that, So if you're struggling with that yo-yo dieting and that weight gain and weight loss, this might be something that you want to check out. I really appreciated that she shared her personal experience with it and how she had struggled with weight and that yo-yo dieting her entire life. And this has given her freedom to feel more in control and at peace with her relationship with food. Wow, it's amazing. So Sarah and her team have given us a coupon code for the next month. So you can go to calocurb.com. You can also, to the United States website, you can also go to the New Zealand website if you're in New Zealand and Australia, and get 10% off CaloCurb using the coupon code TM10. Oh, please leave a review and share in the Facebook group what resonated with you. I'd love to hear about your relationship with food. What are you struggling with? What prevents you from making better choices? What are the blocks there? And what are you doing to get past it? I just find this stuff really, really fascinating. So yeah, I can't wait to hear what you think.
I want to hear about your It Has to Be Me story. So head on over to ithastobeme.com/stories to share it in our free community. You can also join the conversations we're having about this episode and others. I'm Tess Masters. Join me next week and we'll dive inside another great story to help us go from dreaming to doing.